Hi there. So this week we're going to talk a little bit about the two techniques, primary techniques for getting rid of losers. That is that in our long trump hand, the hand with the most trump, we count our losers and then we try to figure out how to get rid of them. Two ways, primary ways, is one, we're going to ruff losers. If we have that suit is short in the dummy, then we can ruff our losers, assuming we have trump there. We can ruff our losers in the dummy. So ruff our losers in the shorthand. That's one way. The second primary way is to throw away our losers on winners in the dummy. Okay, so we're going to ruff our losers in the dummy, or we're going to throw away our losing tricks in the dummy. And of course, every time I say dummy, I really mean to be saying the shorthand because we count our losers in the long trump hand. All right, so let's start this with this one. This is a just ran some random hands and then picked out some ones that I thought might be interesting. So here we go. On this hand, we end up in 5 diamonds, but notice that the long hand is in the dummy. All right, I didn't do the bidding, but this will happen. We end up in the dummy, and we're at 5 diamonds. And when we go to count our losers, we see that we have 9 diamonds, missing the jack. So the opponents have 4 diamonds. And they could have 4-0 with the jack in one hand. And if that hand happens to be an east in this case, they might be able to score the jack of diamonds. All right, so there's ways to protect against that, but we're not going to count disasters. All right, we're not going to count the 4-0. We're going to assume for right now that diamonds are 2-2 or 3-1, and we're not going to count any losers there. And we're going to be careful when we play the diamonds to try to account for a 4-0, but we're not going to count them as losers. When we go to the hearts, we see that we have the ace-king of hearts, but we're missing the queen 10-9, right? So we get 2 heart tricks for sure, but that still leaves us 2 losers in our long hand, which is the dummy, the north hand, right? 2 of those hearts will go under the ace and king, but that leaves us 2 hearts that we have to lose, do we? If you think back to last week, that jack of hearts can win a trick depending on the position of the queen. Right? If it has to play to the heart, when someone leads a heart, it gets to play last, or it gets to play second to last, then there's a pretty good chance that there's a 50-50 chance that we'll win the jack because West will have to play first. But for now, we're counting 2 hearts. But in our head, we're remembering there's a way to make that jack of hearts score. Okay, so go to clubs and we see the real problem with our big 5 diamond hand here is that we have 4 club losers. Now the queen is being led here, so we have a really good idea where the ace is, right? Nobody's going to lead the queen from the ace, right? But that still leaves, so we're going to lose a club, and that leaves us 3 clubs to get rid of. Now, we have one winner in the dummy, right, that we can play on. That's the ace of spades, because we're void in spades. So whenever the ace of spades is played, we get to throw a loser. We can throw a club, or we can throw a heart. Okay. I think we're going to choose to throw a club in here just because there's too many of them, and because there's a chance we'll score the jack of hearts, and then maybe we can even ruff a heart if we get lucky. But let's see what happens. So we're going to play low, because we know where the ace is. There we go. This was our chance. Now, if West is leading from the queen, the jack is going to win. If East has the queen, well, then we're going to have extra heart loser. But we're going to try the jack, and we're lucky. Right? Okay, so now we got 3 club losers. And I can't think of any good reason not to start getting rid of them. There's a chance here, right? If East has the ace of clubs and only 2 other cards, there's a chance here that we can actually score the king. Let's go up to the king of diamonds. And notice lots of times when you're ruffing losers, you got to just hope for the best, right? We had 5 clubs, right? 4 in the dummy and 1 in our hand. So that means 8 of them are out there. Right? So we got some hopes here, especially now that we're getting down to the higher cards, that we can actually ruff without getting over ruffed. Right? Now we can play the ace of spades. Now here we're throwing a loser from the long hand on a winner in the dummy. And then let's play the ace of diamonds. And they split. They had 4 of them. There's the jack. They played twice to the diamond leads. So they are out of trump. So are we in our hand. So now we're looking at maybe getting an over trick here if the hearts split right. They don't. Well, the hearts were badly split, actually. We could have gotten rough there if they continued the hearts, but they didn't. So we end up having 1 heart loser that we didn't get rid of. So if you think back to the start of the hand, we had 4 club losers, and we had 2 heart losers, 6 losers altogether. Right? And now we've reached the end of the hand, and by discarding our losers on winners in the dummy, when we threw that club under the ace, and by roughing our losers, by roughing the clubs, we got rid of 4 losers. Right? And we end up losing just the heart. So, and the ace of clubs is the other club loser. Right? But now we win the rest. Primarily in this hand, we roughed losers in the dummy. We also got to throw 1 loser on the ace of spades. Let's take a look at one more. 6, 9, 10, 11, 6, 17, 1 no trump opener, a transfer to hearts. Now once again, I managed to pick 2 examples. Maybe this is a good thing. We count losers in the long hand, the long trump hand, which doesn't necessarily mean the declarer's hand. And here's another example where that has happened. Okay, we're in hearts, and the long hearts, the 6 of them up there, are in North's hand. So do we have heart losers? Well, once again, we have 9 hearts. That means there's 4 in the opposition's hand. And yes, they could have Jack 4th, and we could have a loser there. But because that's 4-0, we're just not going to worry about it. Okay, we're going to worry about 3-1 splits and 2-2 splits. And we're good here. So we're going to say we have no losers. But in our head, we've got to remember, we've got to be careful. We really want to play those hearts in a manner in which we're protected in case one of them has a jack of hearts, the jack of hearts, and 3 others. But really could be unlikely that we lose a heart trick. So no heart losers. Look at the spades. We have a complete sequence. King, Jack, Queen, 10, right? So we know we're going to lose 1 trick there. That's right. But that's our only loser. Right? So we'll lose 1 spade. If we go to diamonds, notice that we have 3 of them, and we have the ace, and we have the Queen, Jack. The Queen, Jack guarantees us a second winner. So we have the ace of diamonds, and we have either the Queen or the Jack. So we have only 1 loser in diamonds. Otherwise, we should score. Right? So 1 loser in spade, 1 loser in diamonds, 2 losers in clubs. Right? With Queen 5 opposite Jack 5, there's little chance at all that we will ever get a trick. Okay? So the question is, how do we get rid of losers? Now, the Queen and Jack, and notice the clubs will go fast. When they start losing, they're going to go fast, right? 2 leads, had they led right now, or if they get the ace of spades here, and then lead switch to clubs, they're going to be gone fast. Right? So the losers that we actually have some interest in are the diamond losers. Right? We would love to get rid of a diamond loser. We've got 2 winners, but could we get rid of another one? Right? Now, if you are, we tend to, as beginning bridge players, think, oh, well, we'd try the finesse. Right? But we have a better method. A finesse is a 50-50. Right? Our better method is that we have 3 spades over here, and watch what happens here. Okay, now we have the Queen, Jack, and right, we have King, Jack over here, and the Queen here, which means we have 1 extra winner in the shorthand, and on that we can throw a loser. Now, in this case, now that they haven't switched to clubs, we might best find ourselves throwing a club loser here. It really doesn't matter which, but we're going to go up. Now depending on the position of the king, we may have 2 winners there. So we'll go up right now, and I think we better try to get rid of our, there's the Jack. So that was good news. It's probably 3-1. Why would he throw the Jack otherwise? Yeah. But the Jack's gone, so there we go. So now look at what position we're in. Play the Jack, right? And now we have a winner. And now we have one loser in diamond and 2 losers in clubs. Right? So we can get rid of one of those losers by playing it on the jack of diamonds, on the jack of spades rather. Which should we do? I think it's obviously the club, right? Because now we can play up to the jack and we win it, right? So now we're down to 2 losers, and that's all there's going to be. Let's see if there's no way to score this, right? Because the king of diamonds is out there, and someone is going to take it. And the queen of clubs is a loser. But we got rid of 1 club loser. And because of that, we get to make 10 tricks. Yep, 10 tricks. We got some helpful leads there. But we made 10. All right, so you saw what we did there. Go back and watch the video again. What we did is we had 2 club losers and we had a couple heart losers. And the spades, we were 3-2 with 3 spades in the shorthand and 2 in North's hand. And they were the top 3 except for the ace. And as a result, we ended up with an extra winner in South's hand. And once we had that extra winner, we were able to pitch a loser from the long trump hand onto that, and our 4 losers became 3. And because of that, we were able to make 10 tricks. Okay, watch it again. If you're unsure, we're going to work on it in class, and I'll see you tomorrow. This is Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.